With the real action now back on the track, Craig, Jordan, Leon and Ben are manning the 60cc motorcycles. They'll hand straight over to the 80cc's who will then hand over to the pilots. It's the last chance our Super Champs have got to change this week's scores. Let's get on with the action.
Craig Nelson comes from Skegby. Jordan Rose rides for the Tigers from Whitby. Leon Haslam's for the Eagles from Smalley, and Ben Dixon rides for the Wasps from Ilkley. The engine's revving away, they're waiting for the green lights. They get the green lights. Heading across the start area, through the mud section up towards Mud Hill. Ben Dixon in the lead. And Leon Haslam in all sorts of trouble. Leon Haslam is off. Little Leon Haslam, who did so well on the mini bikes and the Argos, off as Ben Dixon leads Jordan Rose and Craig Nelson down into the forest section. That's Craig Nelson there. Jordan Rose, this red bib in the distance. Here's our race leader, Ben Dixon. Leon still struggling with his bike. In first place, Ben Dixon for the Wasps, but through into second place comes Craig Nelson for the Sharks. Jordan Rose has been relegated to third place for the Tigers. Leon still way behind for the Eagles. There he is, away again, and he's got to make it up Mud Hill. In first place, though, 10-year-old Ben Dixon from Ilkley. In second place, 10 years old Craig Nelson from Skegby. There's Ben Dixon going into Mud Hill again. The bike's snaking around. Second place, Craig Nelson for the Sharks. Third place for the Tigers. You can see, try to find his balance there is Jordan Rose going up towards Hilltop Turn. Here's our race leader, Ben Dixon from Ilkley, picking his way very carefully through this battlefield. You can see how muddy it is. They've all selected a gear. They're just using their legs for balance now. And here comes a challenge for first place. Craig Nelson for the Sharks, taking a completely different line to Ben Dixon and forces his way through on Castle Corner into the lead, relegating Ben Dixon to second place. Jordan Rose for the Tigers, still in third from Whitby. But what a great ride from Craig Nelson. They're heading round towards Slaters, and then they'll be going into the changeover area. Over Slaters, the Sharks, the Wasps, the Tigers, the Eagles way behind. Here's little Leon Haslam for the Eagles. But the lead three coming up to the changeover area. You can hear the 80cc's revving up. John Sweeting away, Lee Goodall next, Carl Harris for the Tigers next, and then Clint Mears through the splash up towards Mud Hill. John Sweeting leads, but there's a fight on for third place. Clint Mears, wow, look at that, pushes right past Carl Harris up into third place. And Lee Goodall is challenging for first place, but he's off. Goodall is off for the Wasps. Losing out to Clint Mears, who moves up into second. Carl Harris up into third. John Sweeting away from it all in first place. Clint Mears in second for the Eagles. Carl Harris in third for the Tigers. And then behind now, Lee Goodall for the Wasps in fourth place, coming up and over the flood barrier. So, 14-year-old John Sweeting here in the lead from Penistone. In second place, Clint Mears, just a year younger. In third place, Carl Harris for the Tigers, 13 years old from Howden, and challenging Mears very hard as they go up Mud Hill. And in fourth place, still Lee Goodall, 14 years old, just down the road from Thorpe. Very carefully over Hilltop. The Sharks, the Eagles and the Tigers go through this battlefield of mud. John Sweeting, his bike firmly under control, but he's under tremendous pressure from Clint Mears. Lee Goodall has caught up a lot of time as he goes over the flood barrier. Still it's John Sweeting in first place. Still Clint Mears in second. But for how much longer? Because Mears is side by side. Very close and over Redlands. Clint Mears takes the lead ahead of John Sweeting from Penistone. In third place Carl Harris, but only just because now he's challenging and he's passed into second place. Carl Harris for the Tigers into second place. John Sweeting suddenly finds himself back in third. Lee Goodall for the Wasps in fourth place. He just can't see anymore. He's taken his goggles off. And through for the Tigers. A great performance from Carl Harris. He's snatched the lead. And a side-by-side battle going on behind him between Mears and Sweeting. And Mears is through into second. So Clint Mears, 13 years old, goes through into second. John Sweeting desperately trying to find some pace and get back up into second as well. And off, Clint Mears is off. He takes his goggles off as well, which means that John Sweeting is back up into second. Carl Harris, though, for the Tigers, the 91 British champion, into the changeover area. And away goes David Tucker for the Tigers. Then comes Charles Hall for the Sharks. Next is Judd Coupland. There he goes for the Eagles, up Mud Hill. David Tucker flying with our camera on board, up towards Hilltop Turn, a left round Hilltop Turn, wrestling with the steering. 10-year-old Jonathan Hunter away for the Wasps, but David Tucker's got big problems. Charles Hall through into first place, his headlights flashing down towards us as he wrestles with the pilot. A big safety rollover cage protecting him as he fights his way through the mud down towards Castle Corner. So Charles Hall, just 13 years old from Sheffield in the lead. In second place is Judd Coupland here for the Eagles, 12 years old from Spalding. Just behind him is Jonathan Hunter for the Wasps. In fact, he's through. Jonathan Hunter, a great piece of driving through into second place. Coupland wrestling with the controls. Hall there still in first place. Hunter for the Wasps in second. Judd Coupland for the Eagles in third. And there you can see poor David Tucker still stuck on that cone. Charles Hall's Sharks teammates will be well pleased with his performance. His ambition is to be a racing driver, and on today's performance he better get straight down to Brands Hatch. He passes David Tucker, oh, big problems, and hits a cone, but he's still in the lead. Here's third place driver Judd Coupland for the Eagles, just ahead of him. Hunter for the Wasps, Yorkshire karting champion. But in first place still Charles Hall for the Sharks, the 13-year-old from Sheffield, firmly in control of this race. In second place, Jonathan Hunter coming through for the Wasps. But in first place, absolutely covered in mud, jumping and sliding his way towards the checkered flag is Charles Hall. Yes, first place for the Sharks and a brilliant drive from Charles. In second is Jonathan Hunter for the Wasps. Up towards Redlands, the checkered flag for him. So the 10-year-old from Nottingley doing very well there. In third place, here he comes, Judd Coupland, 12 years old from Spalding, driving an excellent race for the Eagles up over Redlands. He takes the checkered flag as well. And David Tucker, well, he's out on the Forest section. He never got going again.
Great driving, Jonathan. You didn't quite make it, though.
No, I tried my hardest and just hoped for the best.
Did you know how much ground you had to make up when you got away last up there?
Yeah, I had quite a lot of ground to make up.
Lee, what happened?
My bike seized up and it wouldn't move, so couldn't come in and give him a flag.
What were you feeling over the back straight, because you've been riding so well for the last few weeks?
Oh, I just trying to catch him, but my bike just didn't want to go.
Tough luck for the Wasps. Let's look at the points. The grand finale looks like this. The Sharks with 4, the Wasps take 3, the Eastern Eagles in third with 2, and the Northern Tigers 1.
Thanks, Eric. Well, at the end of this programme, in fourth place are the Northern Tigers with 7 points. Third come the Sharks with 12 points. Second are the Wasps with 13 points. And this week's winners with a well-earned 5-point lead are the Eastern Eagles with 18 points. Well done to the Eagles, and after 6 weeks the score looks like this, with the Wasps still in the lead with 86 points, but that lead is narrowing, so still all to race for. Fantastic result then. We'll be back same time, same place next week with Superchamps with more action, thrills and spills. Don't forget to join us then. Bye-bye.